Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United's game against Liverpool on Sunday will be key for Solskjaer's future. That means defeat could see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked. As it stands at the moment, Solskjaer's job is safe, so he will not be sacked by Manchester United yet. Manchester United recently beat Atalanta 3-2. They overcame a 2-goal deficit. Solskjaer always seems to turn it around under pressure. The question is Man United's 3-2 win over Atalanta the turning point for Solskjaer? Now, I want to give you some news on Donny van de Beek. So, Solskjaer doesn't want Donny van de Beek. Solskjaer admits Van de Beek is frustrated and disappointed with his situation at Old Trafford. Van de Beek played no part against Atalanta recently. Now, earlier on this season, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van de Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout, and reflecting on that, he said Van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Earlier on this season, Van de Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And earlier on this season, he spoke about his future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. The other week, it said Van de Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for Van de Beek. Earlier on this season, Fabrizio Romano revealed that Van de Beek is planning to leave the club in January. But revert back to what I've said before, Solskjaer should be starting Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League, because he's a good player, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Manchester United. This season is Van de Beek's second full season at Man United. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Van de Beek's endured 18 months at the club. Now I want to give you some news on Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a shock injury doubt for Manchester United's game against Liverpool after limping in training. Fernandes played the full 90 minutes against Atalanta, but got on the end of some strong challenges. Fernandes got 2 assists against Atalanta. He hasn't missed a game so far this season. Fernandes has been consistent in a lot of games for Manchester United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season, it said that Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, he's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Earlier on this season, Fernandes made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. But revert back to what I've said before, he's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Now, as you all know, there has been a lot of rumours about Antonio Conte coming in to replace Solskjaer, because Conte is interested in the Man United job. It recently said Conte wants a meeting with the Man United board. And it said Conte is waiting for a call from Manchester United. Now there's a lot of United fans that are demanding Conte in. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. He's the favourite to replace Solskjaer. Earlier on this season it said Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to get sacked. He made it clear that he wants a winning project, so reflecting on that, he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte has got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation, and when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So he's managed in the Premier League before, so that's beneficial. There's also some Man United fans that want Zidane in. Ronaldo wants Zidane in. You know, Ronaldo scored the winning goal against Atalanta. It was a very good header. So Ronaldo saved us. He also saved us against Villarreal. Ronaldo has scored 6 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. Don't forget Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester last weekend, but Solskjaer stopped him. Prior to the game against Leicester, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench in Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton before the international break. Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. But Solskjaer, I think he will be sacked by Christmas. I can't see him getting until the end of this season unless results improve. You know, this season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed, and like I've already mentioned, Solskjaer is in a position he shouldn't be in. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. Revert back to what I've said before, he has to win a trophy. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and earlier on this season Solskjaer did say we must leave a legacy of silverware. Solskjaer has run out of excuses because Manchester United have got a title-winning squad. So in reality, we should be winning the Premier League this season, but obviously we're not going to. Plus, Manchester United endured a very good summer transfer window, made 4 signings, brought Tommy in on a free from Villa, brought Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. So we spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. Plus, Solskjaer received very good backing. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football, and we made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And during the international break, John Murtough said we need to keep control and will not deviate from the plan. Darren Fletcher's also backed Solskjaer. Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer. Well, Woodward said a long time ago that he'd backed Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe, even when we was enduring them very bad periods. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. We know that Woodward is leaving Manchester United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Richard Arnold will replace Ed Woodward as the vice chairman in January. And the Glazers surprisingly backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. So there you go. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of the club. But my concerns about Ole is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There's a lot of United fans that have got concerns about his decision making, and Ole doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager. You know, before he was at Man United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells then. Before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and he was terrible at Cardiff. He got sacked from Cardiff because he got them relegated. Ole managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. I'm surprised Solskjaer's lasted as long as he has done. But the reason he has done, like I've mentioned before, is because he's a legend of the club. That's the only reason. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. But the vast majority of Man United fans are Ole out. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. There is positives regarding Ole. You know, there's not all negatives. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo, Traore. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tommy in Jadon Sancho, Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. So we've spent around 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he loaned some players out in this year's summer transfer window. He loaned Brandon Williams out. He loaned Ethan Laird out. He loaned Andres Pereira out, Axel Tuanzebe to Heath Chon and Facundo Pellistri. He's got rid of a lot of players permanently. Solskjaer offloaded Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player Manchester United offloaded in this year's summer transfer window, so that was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Ole also released Sergio Romero and Joel Pereira. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Fossa Mensah and Rojo. Ole's also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. Also offloaded Ashley Young, Valencia, Darmian, Smalling. Also offloaded Fellaini back in January 2019. Offloaded Angel Gomez, Herrera, Lukaku and Sanchez. So they're the players we've got rid of permanently under Ole. You can say that some progress has been made under Solskjaer because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. Unfortunately, we didn't win it. And last season Solskjaer got us a second place finish, and in his first full season got us a third place finish. We also went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. Leicester ended our unbeaten away run in the league last weekend. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. And Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. But despite me criticising Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, I've got to make an admission and say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked, because I thought Solskjaer would have done far worse than he has. But in certain aspects he has brought consistency back. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Because since Ferguson, Manchester United have sacked 3 managers. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club, despite that. Manchester United are going to sell players next year. Next year, there's a good chance that Martial will leave. I think Cavani will leave next year. Mata will leave next year. I think Lingard will leave next year. Recently, Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Well, it said last month that Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer over playing time concerns. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. ESPN said not so long ago that Lingard is a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. I think Solskjaer wants Lingard to stay. Prior to the West Ham game in the league earlier on this season, Solskjaer said Lingard will be a Man United player next season because he's red through and through. The second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham. But Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. Good chance Van der Beek will go next year. Matic will go next year as well. I'm hearing that Barcelona are interested in him. I want Fred to go next year. I think Telles will go next year because Telles doesn't really get in the team. I think Jones and Bailly will go next year, and I think Dalot will go next year. So there you go, and recently I've been talking with you about Paul Pogba. You know, Paul Pogba is a good player. He's not only a good player, he's an imperative player. Pogba didn't start against Atalanta, but he did come off the bench and made an impact. He played against Leicester last weekend in the league. After the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, Pogba did say that something needs to change at Man United. So reflecting on that, is Pogba demanding Solskjaer out? The other week, Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Man United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner. At Man United. At the moment, Pogba receives around £290,000 a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a Man United contract offer. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba wants to stay at Man United, and Paul Scholes backed Paul Pogba to stay. So on my next video, I'll be giving you my predictions for the Manchester United-Liverpool game. Then after that one, I'll be giving you my predicted 11. So anyway guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.